How are we, everybody? Well, it's been pretty windy today, and I'm hiding in this little section here to get away from the high wind so I can talk to you, because I want to share with you some grafting, because we're leading right up to the season to graft your fruit trees if you want to do some winter grafting. So the month of August is a great time to start doing that. And I'm going to demonstrate a couple of varieties, plus I've got a tool here. I've shown this once before. It's called the Italian grafting tool, and it comes with a couple of different attachments on it. Let me open this packet here. This is what it looks like in the packet. So we have the cutting blades, that is. So you've got this little V-shape or W-shaped blade there. That's one cut it has. We've got the Omega shape as well there. That's one of the other blades. A square set blade, basically, so you're taking a chunk out of the side, and this is for budding basically. And I'll demonstrate all these, but not all today. I'm going to do a couple today, a couple tomorrow, a couple the next day. At the moment I've got the Omega shape. Now the blade itself is blue steel, so it does rust up over time, and that's why we always have a metho. Always spray it with a bit of metho before you do anything. And we're going to demonstrate that. Let me put these aside. And you also got the base plate on it too. So they come with the attachment, so you can replace it, change it. Italian made, so it's meant to be high quality. Another knife here. This is a Graft bud knife. It's not the duo knife, which doesn't have the little bud on the end of it. You can do it with this bud here. So the aim here, this is a right side blade, right hand blade that is. So you've got a flat side here on the cutting edge, and this side's battered down a bit, so it's got a bit of a curve down, so you always pull towards you, so the flat side sits on the actual wood itself. So when you're pulling away like that or pulling towards, if you cut that way, you'll find because the blade's got a curve on it, it'll cause you to slide upwards and you won't get a nice clean cut with that. So that's that one there, and obviously our cutting tool so we can get our samples. Now, what's the purpose of grafting or budding? So you can create more varieties on your tree or plant that you have. So you may have an apple tree, for example, which is the most common thing to graft. Sorry, I'm losing a bit of budding tape here. I'll talk about this in a second. So the purpose of grafting is so you can actually have more than one variety or change a variety otherwise that you don't like on your plant. For example, like you've got an apricot tree just like this one here. It's about to burst into flower, and this is all the new growth that we've got coming on here with where we're going to get our fruit from. It may get something this year, maybe not, and you see how it's really jagged inside. That's another segment. Again, we're going to clean all this one up, but we've taken the center out. This one was almost dead, so we nearly lost this tree. Brought it back to life, and the flowers are a good indication that it's doing well. So we're going to demonstrate. Everything's going to blow away on me here. Demonstrate also, before I get into it, an introduction to grafting. Had this prepared for you, so you'll be able to get this with the tool. If you're going to get yourself a grafting tool or Omega grafting tool or this Italian grafting tool, that's what it's called. This one here, you'll get the grafting guide with it. So the idea is if you've got a grafting knife, or you can use a Stanley knife or razor blade if you like, if you can handle those. Ideally you should get one of these. You'll get a grafting guide like this, and it's got the reasons for grafting, as you can see there, all the different layers and the successes and how you're meant to align. Here, let me turn it around for you. There you go. You can see all the different information in there, the cambium layer, how it works, the sign wood, the material you have, the Omega grafting tool as well, the grafting knife or budding knife you have. Now we've also got a different methods of grafting. So we've got a splice graft, whip and tongue graft, you'll see there. We've got the V graft, which is what we're going to do here also. I'll demonstrate the whip and tongue as well. We've also got a cleft graft and the purpose of it, and I'll explain all these as we go through them. Obviously not all in the one go, and we've got a bark graft as well to go on there. So this comes with the kit, folks. So whether you're buying the actual grafting tool, grafting knife, or any secateurs with one of these, or any pack that we have, you'll get this little pamphlet here that'll give you tips on what it's all about and how it works. All right, so let's get into it. This is the tool. We've got the Omega shape there, or the V shape, let's call it, and you do a pressure compression of the handle, and obviously you put the wood inside there. So that opening there is what's going to guide you as far as how big a piece of stick you can put in there. I'm going to work with this one here, and the details, like I said to you, you can't you're changing the variety of apple or pear, for example. Don't go thinking you like a pear tree or you like the pear on that tree and you're going to go and stick it on a cherry tree. It doesn't work like that. It's apples with apples, pears with pears, cherries and cherries. Keep it like that and you can't go wrong. So let's work with this now. It's not attached to a tree, but the bottom half of this is, and the buds are facing upwards, so you can see that's the direction of growth. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our tree. This is our tree that we have. We're going to put it across there, find the center of where it is. There it is there, the lining up. I think I've got it right, yep. All right, and then we're just going to press it through. If I can hold this properly. Got to click, open it up, and all right, that's got a dirty piece there because this is an old piece of wood that's been cut off the tree. Ignore the discoloration on there. That's not what happens normally, only because I've taken this off the ground. So that's the finished result. Now that's the bottom of your tree. That's what you're going to be having on your tree that's attached to it. You're going to go around and find the branch that's got to align with it as well. So you need to have a similar diameter on it. Now I'm purposely doing it slightly smaller in diameter, just to show you the finished result, because the purpose here is, see that lime green colour in there, see that colour there? That just below the outer skin or bark is the cambium layer. So the outer skin is like the seal or the outer coating that protects the tree's sap flow, and that's where the sap flows, and you need to line up the bottom with the top. So the ironwood or material you're using have to line up. So those two cambium layers have to line up so the sap can continuously flow. It's like having a broken pipe. If you've got two pieces of pipe and they're slightly offline, the one that's flowing through obviously is just going to be pouring out. So the sap is not going to flow to the next part. It's going to pour out, and this part here that's joined onto it's going to dry out and die. So now basically the same cut we just did to the bottom, we're going to do to the top. So what we've got here, this represents our tree, folks. This is the actual branch that we've got attached to a tree, and we've done the cut on there. Now this piece here is our ironwood, which is the sample that we want to graft onto there. What we're going to do to the bottom of this is the same cut using the same tool, but we're using the opposite end, so the other end. Rather than the curved end, we're going to have the hollow end. So let's get our tool and position it in the same way. Now I've got to make sure that is centered properly. We don't want to go off center. Like that. I think we're pretty good. I think we are. Anyway, let's go. Yep, that's pretty good. There's the cut there. And now we join the two together. And you can see it's slightly bigger in diameter. That's the only concern I have. If you don't have the same diameter or close enough to, you're not going to get a good seal. Let's try it the other way, see if that sits better. No, the other way is better. I think it is. All right, so we firm that together tightly like that. Get it into the center or to the one side, in fact. It would be better. Line up the one side so at least one side of it is got the sap flowing through neatly, and the other side, even if it doesn't join completely, that part there will heal all the way around. Now we need to seal this over. And now I've got two tapes here. Have a look at this. I'm going to put that down for a second. I've got the buddy tape. Now this stuff here is perforated. Yes, it is. So this 5 centimeter piece here will stretch out, and I'll show you how much it stretches. It's pretty cold today, but look at that. It just keeps stretching, holding it on properly. So that's almost 5 times its own length before it breaks. And that's okay if it breaks off a little bit. That's at the end. Now I'm not going to use this piece because I've stretched it already. I want to stretch it as I'm wrapping it around. Take another piece off, hold it on the one side and wrap. Now, because it's on the tree, you'll be able to do it a lot easier. Now, I've got this free flowing in the air, and the benefit of that is I can spin the twig around, but you can't do that on the tree. So making sure it's still firmly in place and aligned. Keep wrapping this stuff around it like that. Hey, Craig, what do you reckon, mate? I've got to get Craig on too, folks. So for those of you who know Craig Castry, we're going to get together, do some grafting out in the orchard, and he'll show us his technique as well. We've all got our own little methods, and everyone, if it works for you, it works for me, it's great. And Craig will show you his. So that's the tool. There you are. That's the finished result. Leave that on. Now above that, 2 or 3 buds. Cut the end off on an angle like this. keep it nice and clean, and hopefully it's not facing upwards. It should be on the tree like that. That way any water that rains onto it, it just washes off straight away. You can seal it over if you like with a bit of tree stack, and that's the job. So using the Italian grafting tool, this is what you can do, folks. Really simple, and you've got different cuts, which I'll demonstrate in another video, and you'll also get the manual there to show you how to do all the different grafts. Now for tomorrow's video, we're going to be demonstrating how to graft with this little beauty here, and I'm going to be using a different tape. Rather than a buddy tape, I've got this little cello tape here, which is almost as good. I won't say as good, almost as good, but about 1/10 of the price. Now folks, if you want to try out the grafting tool for yourself and graft like the experts, check it out at Vasili'sGarden.com. They're on special. In fact, everything online. It's the weekend. We've got up to 60% off everything online for you to enjoy. So check it out, Vasili'sGarden.com. From me, Vasili Maresi. See you tomorrow.